Welcome to lesson 4-1, Work Together. In this lesson, we're going to prepare a chart of accounts and open an account. It says the forms are given below. Your instructor will guide you through the following examples. Clara Ross owns a service business called Ross Company, which uses these accounts. So these are the accounts used by Ross Company that we will be putting in our chart of accounts. Number 1, prepare a chart of accounts. Arrange accounts payable and accounts receivable in alphabetical order. Also arrange expense accounts in alphabetical order. Use 3-digit account numbers and number accounts within a division by tens. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to put the name of our business up here as Ross Company. The next thing we need to do is label this column, and this is the balance sheet side of our chart of accounts, where our assets and liability and owner's equity accounts are going to be listed. So I'm going to type balance sheet accounts, and the first section in my balance sheet accounts is the 100 asset accounts. So when I press Shift 9 for open parenthesis, I get my menu and I'm going to choose assets. Now, we need to take our asset accounts, so let's take a look at what they are over here. And our first account is going to be cash, all right? And that's going to be number 110 because it's in the hundreds, and we're going to start with 110 cash. Next, we're going to put our accounts receivable accounts in alphabetical order. So our first account receivable account would be Megan Alvarez, and I'm going to give that number 120 because we go up by increments of 10. And then I'm going to go to my next accounts receivable account, Tyler Link, and again I'm going to go up by 10, and I'm going to give this number 130. Now we can do our supplies account. I'm going to make that 140. And our prepaid insurance will be 150. Those are all of the asset accounts that we're going to include, I believe. Yes. So now we need to go on to our liability accounts. And we're first going to give that a heading of 200 liabilities. And we're going to put those in alphabetical order as well. So our first account payable account would be Mid-City Supplies. That's going to be number 210. And then number 220 will be Surer Supplies. Those are all of the liability accounts that we have. So now we're going to do our owner's equity accounts, and those are the 300s. So again, I open that parenthesis, put 300 owner's equity, and 310 will be my capital account, Clara Ross Capital, and 320 will be my drawing account. Now we can move over to the right side of the chart of accounts, and that's where our revenue and expense accounts go. So the first thing that I'm going to put is the title Income Statement Accounts. Next, I'm going to open a parenthesis, and this is where my revenue accounts go. And the only revenue account that we have is our sales account. So that will be number 410. And now we can do our expense accounts. So I'm going to put the title 500 Expenses. Our first expense account will be number 510. And remember, these need to go in alphabetical order. So our first expense account will be automobile expense. Then 520 will be insurance expense. 530 will be our miscellaneous expense. 540 will be rent expense. And then 550 will be our supplies expense. So that finishes up our expense accounts. Next, our directions tell us 2 new accounts, postage expense and utilities expense, are to be added to the chart of accounts prepared in instruction 1. Assign account numbers to the 2 new accounts. So over here, I'm going to put account number and account title. And then the 2 accounts that we're going to add, the first one is postage expense. Because these need to be in alphabetical order, alphabetically postage comes between miscellaneous and rent. Because we cannot go up by an increment of 10 here, we're going to have to make it 535. So I'm going to put the account number 535, And over here, I'm going to put postage expense. Our last account that we need a number for is utilities expense. That would come in alphabetical order after supplies expense. We can increase by 10 there, so I'm going to make this number 560, utilities expense, and now my new accounts are created. The last thing that the directions tell us to do is to use the account form below to open cash. This is an account form for a ledger account. To open an account, you just put the account title here, which is cash, and the account number, which is 110. And that's all there is to do in 4-1.